With the ButtKicker Gamer2, what you see and what you hear is what you feel. ButtKicker, the future is feeling.
Week 3 of the World Series of Sim Racing brought us to New Hampshire Motor Speedway in Loudon, New Hampshire. Here we come down the front straightaway, taking the green flag to start 167 laps here at New Hampshire Motor Speedway. And back in the back, the two cars now. Oh, and now we've got the caution out. And it also brought us a lot of cautions. And here we go, lap 13, no caution. What happened there? Did bring out a caution. Let's see what's going on here.
We are back under yellow. I'm telling you this, there's something not right with this track.
Content just sitting behind these guys, especially with the way that Whitley, he just lost it.
Oh, we were just talking about him. We gave him the broadcast jinx.
Brian Johnson, being taken out in an earlier event, begins to climb his way through the field.
He's going to try to power his way out of the turn.
And he does.
And it looks like he is going to do it. Brian Johnson, Zach called 2 tire stop, and then everybody else behind him 4 tires.
In the end, it came down to our Week 1 and Week 2 winners, Brian Johnson and Larry Yingling. 6 to go, back in the front. Brian Johnson with the lead. About 0.3 seconds over Zach Hall, who gets a little squirrely coming off. Larry Yingling now comes right up to the back bumper. Yingling to the outside, looking to take that second position. Zach Hall not going to give it up easily. Zach Hall on the inside, Larry Yingling on the top. Coming out of the apex of 3 into 4. Who can get on the gas first is going to be Yingling. Down the outside, they're going to take the second position. 5 to go in New Hampshire. 2 to go now across the line. We've got some distance here, but Yingling slowly but surely making up that gap. 0.2 seconds now. Coming out of 2. Larry Yingling need to get on that throttle quickly, trying to chase down Brian Johnson. Into turn 3, Yingling, had to check up there as Johnson just decelerated quickly. Coming out of 4, Yingling I don't think is going to have anything for him. And our first 2-time winner of the season, Brian Johnson. Brian Johnson becoming our first 2-time winner this season in the World Series of Sim Racing. Now we go to Richmond, Virginia at the Richmond Raceway. It's Week 3 action on the World Series of Sim Racing on Freaky Fast Broadcasting.
Welcome, race fans, here to another exciting night here at World Series of Sim Racing League as they take on Richmond Raceway, a track length of 0.72 miles. And it's going to be a fun race out here as I'm going to be accompanying up here in the booth with our good announcer here, Lee Tidwell. How you doing, Lee?
I'm not even a friend. I'm just the good announcer.
You're the good friend announcer. Rephrase that.
Oh, Robert, I am excited about tonight. You know why? Because it's Saturday night. That means it's the World Series of Sim Racing on Freaky Fast Broadcasting. And as you said, we're in Richmond, Virginia at the Richmond Raceway.
All right, yeah.
Very interesting. At the Richmond Raceway. Little under 3/4 of a mile. And I've been watching practice, man. And I tell you what, these guys have got this track dialed in. Mark Whitley's going to be tough. I'll give you that.
You think, Mark? Oh, yeah, I guess so. He's up here sitting on the pole right now. Well, on the pole. Yeah, see, now you got me all messed up. He's sitting up here with the best of lap of a 21.75, but Alex there and Levi Cox both put down a 21.77 with Zach Hall with a 21.78, so times are very, very close.
Yes, sir. And as we said here at Richmond, it's 83 degrees with a track temperature of 87. Wind's going to be out of the south at 11 miles an hour. We got some clear skies, relative humidity right at 50%. It is the perfect conditions under the perfect setting at Richmond Raceway. Gosh, I'm going to do that all night now for the World Series of Sim Racing.
Oh, man, I'm getting some info here on YouTube and hearing that it is loose entering, tight center, loose off. And I don't even know how to compensate I don't even know what to do to even, you fix one area, you mess up the other. You fix the one, and you mess up the two. You know what I mean? So, man, what do you do?
On the Facebook side of things, Larry Yingling wants to know if there's going to be a poll so he can vote against Zach.
I actually don't got the page up. I have to pull it up. No, we already had a poll against Zach, and we all lost.
We all lost on that one, but Larry with a dramatic final 10 laps, being able to take that second position. Brian Johnson last week, our first two-time winner, and now on top of the standings, climbed his way back up through the field, and that last corner, 3 and 4, Yingling could have punted Brian Johnson out of the way and chose not to, and that's the difference between 1 and 2 from last week.
Oh yeah, oh most definitely he could have gave him the chrome horn, as like they like to say here in racing, but he's too nice of a guy.
He is. I mean, and I was watching from the blimp view, and you could see how fast he had to get on the brakes because Zach let off, real quick on that and decelerated quickly. And instead of putting him across, Larry checked up and finished second. So we got our 2 winners, 1-2 last week. We go into week number 4, our championship points. Oh, my bad. Yep. There they are. And I was wrong. Larry Yingling is still ahead in points. I thought Brian jumped him, and I looked at it wrong. Larry Yingling with 123 points for Yin Yang Racing. Brian Johnson for Category 5 Esports at 112 points in second. Zach Hall finishing third, and then third in the championship points after 3 races with 99. Cedric Hunter in fourth position, a point behind him. Troy Torgerson's going to be in fifth. Chuck Sweeting in sixth. Jeff Gilmore in seventh. Dave is in eighth. Bob Skinner in ninth. And Nick Crawford in 10th position. And you see a lot of Category 5 esports in that top 10, Robert.
Oh, yeah, and kicking Asphalt Motorsports there. They're, what do they got? 1, 2, 3. They got 3 up there in the top 10, too. So they're showing some strength there. And they just got one of John there just outside the top 10. So it's team is stacking up here, too, up and down as the team showing powerhouse of all teams out here at World Series of Sim Racing League.
And the only difference between Kicking Asphalt Motorsports and Category 5 Esports at the moment, a victory on the track this season.
Wow. So they've, Kicking Asphalt's been showing good running all season. They just don't got that win yet. Well, you know what? Maybe they'll be able to get one here under the lights tonight here at Richmond.
I love this track. This track is... like we talked about, a little under 3/4 of a mile. It's a finesse track. It truly is a finesse track. You've got to be easy going in. You've got to not get on it too quick, and you can't floor it coming out. We talk about coming out. The exits of turns, so important on that throttle control, but here, that is the theme of the race, is throttle control.
Yes. Yes, sir, it is. All right, well, who's ready to get freaky crazy, freaky nuts, and freaky fast tonight here at World Series of Sim Racing League? I know I am. I can't wait for the last 10 laps because that's normally when we have carnage and Lee gets all excited and I sit here and get goosebumps.
Yeah, we got just under a minute before we get to our qualifying. And it's going to be interesting to watch that qualifying, too. Mark Whitley still with the fastest lap of practice, a 21.748. So is he going to be able to beat that? We'll find out.
Yeah, that's going to be very, very true. We'll have to see if he can beat that or not. I know he's, as of right now, in practice. Now, this is my data that's showing me, and this is going to blow your mind. He is still now out on the track. He has put down 189 laps in practice.
I see that, too. Holy.
That is crazy.
He's almost run the entire race because our race is 200 laps here tonight. Yeah. He's almost run the entire race during practice.
Now that is a dedicated driver right there. That's what I'm talking about. That's crazy. Oh, wow. He's gonna take it home, Lee. I mean, he's done.
Yep, and I wasn't able to switch my my cars to see if there was anybody even close before we hit our qualifying.
Next one was 166 laps from Sean.
Wow.
Yeah, but all right. Well, they roll into qualifying, so we'll wait to see and let these guys get their qualifying laps put down here, and the ticker will eventually update as it comes through here, as we'll go here with Joseph in that 32. Looks like he's taking it easy in 3 and 4 there on the high side, getting that thing all warmed up, tires all warmed up, and get ready to put down his hot lap. Or not.
Yep, into the exit of 2. That tail end got into it a little bit too quick. So now I'm going to jump to the number 97 of Jeff Hollinsworth. He was really putting down some laps during practice and testing this track and fiddling with the way he, we'll fishtail there, the way he exits and enters these turns. So it's going to be interesting to see where Jeff Hollinsworth, and right now, best on the board for the first lap, 22.086. But then Brian Johnson just tops that, 21.863. Brian Johnson, our last week's race winner, number 28 on the track, and lays down the fastest lap of qualifying so far.
Well, we still got a lot of other cars to not hit the track yet. Some of them are going to wait. But I've already noticed what Cedric Hunter was on YouTube saying. Loose in, loose out, and you can physically see it on the cars. The cars, like you said, they were doing the fishtail. They were doing, swerving back and forth there. When you get up under brake, that back end just wants to kick around a little bit, and then you step on the gas a little bit to correct it, and then you're oversteering, then you're understeering.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Nice lap for Jonathan Smith, too. It's 33. He needs a sponsor on that car. All I keep seeing is blue and white. Joseph, somebody, Alex, that's your teammate. Get him a sponsored car, please. Oh, man. How's everybody doing out there tonight? Yeah, adjust my microphone here. Maxwell here. Let's see what he's gonna in that 94. Let's see what kind of right now he's sitting in P7 there, Lee. Let's see if he looks like he's gonna try to improve on his second lap. No, he did not. We got Chuck coming out. He still needs a sponsor on that car. And Zach Hall. Well, we'll watch and see what Chuck does here, but Larry and Zach are now getting ready to put down their lap. Oh, Chuck just spun it around. Let's go to Zach Hall here, and let's see what he does here at that Dirty Air podcast. out what he puts down. And, ooh, up to third.
Nice.
Nice. Nice.
Yep, excellent lap for Zach Hall.
Here comes Low Line Racing. Larry, where's he going to put it up here as he starting his first lap here? Yes, his first lap. Let's see here.
Larry Yingling in second position last week. The top of the championship points after one win this year.
I bet it's a P second. No, ooh, wow, on the pole. Wow.
Takes the pole with authority.
Wow, nice. All right, well, let's go to the Hello Kitty and see what that kitty litter can do.
The 13 of Cedric Hunter coming out of 4. Here we go. Let's see where he is going to lay that time down. Nope, not coming out of 4. My map is the other way around. Now he's going into 3. There we go.
That's okay. You're backwards.
Dude, it's been a day.
Busy day for me too, so trying to get ready to call some action-packed racing here as he tries to do the drifter like he always does. Yep, that's a good old Cedric. Oh, 14th. Ooh,
and not a great qualifying effort there for Cedric Hunter.
No.
The number 24, Corey Blevins on the track.
Yeah, the Heartland.
There he goes.
Oh,
11th.
Oh, sorry. We're see.
We're out of time.
Yeah, we're all out of whack. Even the announcers were like, "Wait, what? Who? What?" But all right. Well, let's bring up our starting grid here, Lee, and run it down. Let me. I gotta find it first. I know it's somewhere. I didn't mute it. Whoopsie. Oh, there it is.
So taking our poll. Tonight will be Larry Yingling sitting on the pole, and second place will be Brian Johnson. Starting off third will be the number 99 machine of Levi Cox. In fourth will be the number 5 of Zach Hall. In fifth, the number 32 of Joseph McWhorter. In sixth, the number 26 machine of Chuck Swaden. In seventh, the number 98 machine of Troy Torgerson. Starting eighth will be Jonathan Smith in his 33 car. The 97 car of Jeff Hollingsworth in the 9th position. Maxwell Caldwell round out the top 10 in his number 94. In 11th, the 24 of Corey Blevins. In 12th, the 64 machine of John Mullins. In 13th will be the 38 machine of Richard Swaverly. In 14th, the number 13 Hello Kitty car of Cedric Hunter. In 15th, the 52 of Stephen Kinney. 16th, Cody Cox in his 54 machine. And in 17th, number 55 of James Durr. In 18th, number 18, Danny Lawson. In 19th, number 77 of Mark Whitley. In 20th, the 88 of Vernon Marjam. In 21st, the number 1 of Brandon Coley. In 22nd, the 85 of Brandon Clark. In 23rd, Alex Bisson. 24th, Bob Skinner. In 25th will be Dave in his number 20 car. In 26th, with number 15 of Christopher Miller. James Hackworth Jr. will be in our 27th position. 28th will be Sean Chessman. 29th, Ron Hollyfield. And in 30th, Bradley Allison. And that is your starting grid for 200 laps here at Richmond Raceway with the World Series of Sim Racing on Freaky Fast Broadcast.
All right. Good rundown there, Lee. All right, man. 200 laps here. Let's get ready, guys. This is going to be fun. And ladies. If you're on the Facebook side, like we like to always say, thank you for everybody for tuning in. Also on YouTube, thank you. But hit that reaction button. It helps us and everything else. And hit that share, follow, and all that stuff. And throw it out there to your friends, families. Show them what you guys do on a Saturday night and how tough and competitive this league can be.
Coming into 3, Larry Yingling, Brian Johnson. Zach Hall and Levi Cox is going to be your front group there.
Yeah, last week's first and second there, but go right ahead.
First, second, and third. Uh-oh. Still got a lap to go.
Oh.
I was like, are we starting? And then I was like, the pace car is still there. And then, of course, Brian accelerates, and I'm like, what am I seeing here?
I seen Levi Cox blink out there for a second. I went, uh-oh, because I heard you say, uh-oh. That word "uh-oh" during broadcasting, Lee, is like, oh, my brain stops and goes, I'm starting to look around going, uh-oh, what's going on?
I understand.
Yeah,
Yep.
it scares me.
Me too.
It scares me, man. All right, man, you want to lead them to the green flag, Lee?
Here we go. Pace car is off, coming out of 4. Yingling and Johnson will start us off. Yingling on the inside, pole position on the throttle, and here we go from Richmond, Virginia. 200 laps at the Richmond Raceway. Larry Yingling's going to take into turn 1 and stay in that first position. We're going to shake out. Zach Hall drops back to 5th on that start. Not a good start for Zach Hall, losing 2 different positions there. Yingling going to bring him around 3 and 4 and bring him back to the line. So after 1 lap, we have settled down, and these guys are probably going to take it easy starting off, especially with the way that this track is, as you said, you know, loose in and loose out, and everybody kind of settle in the line. But yeah, Zach Hall, Robert, did not get a good start there.
Yeah, has fallen only 1 position, though. I mean, he's in line now. Didn't get a good start to hold his qualifying position, but he's, you know, he's fallen back to 5th position. He's still in the top 5. It looks like everybody's starting to get single file back through the field, which is the best way to do it right now. Let them tires get warmed up and race the track and not your competitors. You know, you deal with your competitors after the tires warm up, and as I just say, a yellow's out. As it looks like Bob Skinner. Oh, we have a lot of cars involved. Let's go back on the replay here, Lee.
Oh, yeah.
Slow this down here, and I see Bob Skinner. That's, oh, might have slowed down too soon. Let me see. Oh, it happened in front of him.
It's a caution on lap number 4. As we try to see what collected everyone.
Oh, and there goes the 20 car. He is done for the night. He was in the 88. I don't even know where that accident started at. Let's go back to Vernon here. Let's see if we can see. Oh, who is that in that? We'll wait from the clip. The 55 got loose coming out and just collected everybody. Did. James collected everybody. And unfortunately, Dave in the 20 T-boned the 88 right on the driver's side. Bob Skinner, nowhere to go, into the wall. And I don't think the 20 is going to be able to rebound from that there, Lee. I believe he is going to be done because this league does not offer no fast repairs. So,
yeah, Dave's run strong the past few weeks. So, you know, being taken out that early in the race, definitely an issue for the number 20 machine of Dave Asia.
And it looks like there was 6 cars involved in that wreck.
Dave's coming out of, yeah, his front end is tore up, sir.
Well, give the guy props because, you know, it's so early in the race. We're under caution. I don't blame him, you know. There's going to be guys that might fall out of here. You might be able to gain 5 spots. Yeah, you're going to putt around all night, but it's better than not gaining them 5 points, you know, well, yeah, it would be like 5 points or even 5 positions, you know, to, you know, for the championship. He's up there in the point standing, so, I mean, it's well worth it to stay out.
And as you said, a lot of cars involved. And a lot of cars taking advantage, even if not involved in that wreck, it hitting the pits.
Yeah, it
looks like our 17th back.
Yep, 17th on back there from the 52 of Stevens all the way back. And Christopher, Sean, Richard, Cody, James, Dave, of course, Brandon, Danny. Yeah, I don't blame him. Oh, Ron is out in the 21. It's showing him. Is he out of the race or is he coming out of pit road?
Coming out of pit road.
Okay. That's one thing I don't like about our data we have there. When it shows out, I instantly go, oh, they're out of the race. When they're actually out means exiting pit road. I get it all messed up all the time. But we're going back green here as they're getting double file. Pace cars ducking in with that beautiful sunshine, Richmond, Virginia. And green flag is out.
Green flag out. Larry Yingling going to make it to the line. Look at Levi Cox going underneath. Brian Johnson going to take that second position. Joseph McQuarter sniffing on the inside of Johnson now, maybe looking to battle for third. Zach Hall in fourth, but Johnson going to be able to fall into that third position. Yingling looking strong with the best lap of the race so far. A very young 8-lap race, but is the strongest car and the pole setter for this evening's event. Levi Cox in second, Brian Johnson in third, McQuarter in fourth, Zach Hall in fifth. Rounding out your top 10 will be Sweeting, Torgerson, Hollingsworth, Caldwell, and Jonathan Smith in your 10th position.
Good state of Florida. Got Troy out here, and I'm not exactly sure where he's from, but he's
there we got it spin.
Oh, no.
The 64 spun, the 77 machine of Mark Whitley just gets right into the back of the 64 of John Mullins and took him sideways.
Oh, let's go back on the replay here. All right.
They were going 3 wide down the front stretch, and I'm not exactly sure why. And some stuff got crazy on there.
Oh, Mark just came up.
Yeah.
Yeah, misjudgment there from Mark. That's what happens when you run 200 laps on practice. You get all clustered floofed.
Yep. Splitters fluffed.
Yeah, well, and he had to do it, before we get too far into the race, Lee. He had to give him the kissy kiss.
Yeah, had to get a little kiss.
Yep.
And it sure enough did Mark Whitley. And Mark's he's coming down pit road as well, along with the 64 machine of Mullins. Mullins got some rear end damage on that, just from the kiss. Didn't hit the wall or anything. Nice save though by Mullins. You see that save?
Yes, I did. I went fast forward through the replay, but yeah, we seen it. I kind of seen it. I think everybody's seen it. If they didn't, I apologize.
If they didn't, it will be on the replay.
Yeah, it's well, true. Very true.
I'll find it somewhere.
That's right. It'll be on next week's recap as Mark giving John the pucker kissy kiss. He said, "Pucker up, here comes the kiss."
He did too. I mean, and I think he had to have just gotten loose up there, and that, or just overdrove it. Thought he had more room than he did.
Yeah.
I mean, there.
Yeah. Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead. Mark Whitley is a great driver, and was, like you said, did so many laps at this today. Had the best time in practice, but just overdrove it there. Maybe anticipated a little too much. I mean, sometimes you put that much effort into something, the payoff doesn't get there.
Yeah, from what I've seen, it looked like he overdrove it, and when he got into the turn and he turned the wheel, the car didn't turn, and he winded up going towards, where John was, and then he hit the brakes and went, uh-oh, and there was, he was already committed, so.
Yeah, and we heard that those turns get tight in the center, so.
Yeah. Yep. And that was right in the center, too, so.
Lap 14 of 200 here. And Larry Yingling started on the pole and remains in first. Levi Cox up to second. Brian Johnson in third. Joseph McQuarter is now in the fourth position, up one. In fifth, Zach Hall, then Chuck Sweeting, Jeff Hollingsworth, Troy Torgerson, Maxwell Caldwell, and Jonathan Smith. So, got some names in that top 10 that any of them can pull out a victory. But, man, it's so early in the race. We're on our caution number 2. It gives me some flashbacks of last week.
Nah. We're supposed to leave last week behind. What are you doing, man? You're killing me here.
I'm trying, but I've seen so many yellow flags.
Did you dream yellow?
Man, it was. And then the next day, every race I got in, there was cautions all over the place. I'm like, I just can't get away from these daggum things.
Welcome to online sim racing, bud. Oh, man.
One to go as we come around on the backstretch. And pit strategy is not a strategy at the moment, as with 2 different cautions now. Our last 13 cars have at least hit the pit. So all the way through Corey Blevins in 12th are still on their original stuff. Here we go with the restart. Yingling across the line, Cox up top. Brian Johnson trying to get a run on the bottom, but it looks like that McWhorter might have a run on him on the top, trying to keep that nose from letting Brian Johnson squirt back up into that racing line. Zach Hall in 5th position, charging hard now down to the bottom. Everyone falls into line, and here is where we will start setting the rhythm. Yingling, Cox, Johnson, McWhorter, Hall, Sweeting, and then we got a battle back here with the 97 of Jeff Hollinsworth and the 94 of Maxwell Caldwell. Also right behind him, the 95 of Bisson.
Yeah. Oh. Ooh.
Yeah.
Oh, it looks like Sean and James were involved in this one again. Go back here to the 10. See what happens here with Sean. Oh, John came up, got the left rear of I Am Canada, and John said I Am USA, and they didn't get along.
That's all we need now, a war between Canada and America.
Yeah, no, we get along with Canada. That's true, but, oh, look at the 21. Who's the 21? Oh, Ron. Man, nowhere to go. He was hard on the brakes, and unfortunately, he just rear-ended. Yeah, just got him in the left rear and hit him again. Spun him around. Man, I don't know. I don't know what's going on here. Again, we had this stuff happen last week, and I think it's just it's the setup, it's the tires, it's this low downforce package that we got here in iRacing. A lot of leagues talk about this, Lee, and it's just not this league. It's got patience. Patience is a virtue. You know what I'm saying there, and you know it's you cannot overdrive these cars. They're not like the trucks. You can't go, beep to the walls. How you like that? Good?
Yeah.
Am I good there? Good there? All right. Good.
Yeah, you're good there.
Yeah,
but
I'm good
one of the things, though, is there is so little room, not necessarily for error, but to even get away from that center line. You have to be so perfect. And when you see levels of drivers like what we have here tonight, what we call on our other broadcast with Ricky Fast Broadcast, a lot of these other leagues that we see out there, with the level of driving you got, it should not be as difficult it is for these guys to hold these tracks the way it is. There is something that is amiss, and it is a mystery at the moment.
No, it's very well said. Nothing against any other league. You got a lot of leagues out there that are just right down great. I've seen it. We've broadcasted them. So I try to call it as an even playing field. It goes back to the game. It goes back to the physics. Let's go back. See, people talk about the tires, and they talk about the cars, and they talk about the tracks. No one ever talks about the physics. The physics of what you got in the game is sometimes can be off, and it doesn't. You could be the best pro driver. Doesn't matter. You're gonna spin out. It's gonna happen. And then not only that, Lee, to get off that subject, they're racing at Richmond. It's a 0.72 mile track. It's a short track. There is no room for air. There's no room if you slip up a little spot. 9 out of 10 or 9.5 out of 10, there's gonna be a car there. You know what I mean? And you're going to hit that car no matter if it's going in too hot, hitting the brakes because you brake later and the other guy brakes earlier. You know what I mean? That causes a change. You know what I mean? So there's so much factors.
It is. And one thing that's amazing, especially if people that are involved with iRacing, is, how these guys can take something that gives the vast majority of racers a lot of trouble, and be able to control it as well as they do. And like you said, the other leagues we call amazing driving as well. I mean, there's some highly talented leagues out there. We call a lot of them as well. And their driving puts me to shame. It really does.
Oh, me too. Me too. And that's why I sit up here in the booth with Lee on a Saturday night.
I am much better and more comfortable doing this right now than being on that track at this moment.
That's right. If
I was on the track with him last night. I didn't do as good.
Yeah, how'd that work out?
Oh, man, yeah. Ran the Legend cars last night. I think I parked her behind the wall in lap 8. So, yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, here we go. Lee.
Green flag start. Yingling going to cross the line first. Johnson now sniffing to the inside of Cox. Going to look to battle for that second position. McWhorter going to drop to the inside as well. And maybe follow Johnson, trying to fit inside the rear quarter panel there of Cox. Johnson now going into 3 is going to have that second position. McWhorter's going to back off. Let Cox slide down into 3rd. That will set our top 5. Yingling, Johnson, Cox, McWhorter, Zach Hall. Chuck Sweeting right behind him, but he's got Alex Bisson battling to the inside of him. Bisson now trying to get a little bit of traction there, but McWhorter able to pull ahead. I lost my cars.
Uh-oh. He had an internet glitch. We might be dropping out of the server. I'll take over from there as we were watching Alex there battle with Chuck. Oh, Alex hit into the wall. Coming out of 2. Hit the wall and made the right side there. A little bit of damage, but it don't look like it's going to harm him too bad. And it looks like we're going to start getting single file here as we wait for Lee to get everything fixed back up there as the internet's not being nice. As we got Joseph looking under Levi and taking over 3rd position as we have a yellow, and it looks like involved is gonna be, I'm not sure.
James Durer again.
James, the 55. Okay, yeah, it's not popping up on my incident reports there. Every once in a while it doesn't do that, but unless it popped up for you, I didn't get that. But
I might have been correct.
No, you're right. You're correct because he hit the wall and the outside wall, and then just stopped. So yeah, his car is like toast. He's out.
And now it looks like everybody that hasn't pit is going to pit except for the top 4 of Yingling, Johnson, McWhorter, and Zach Hall.
Interesting call. Interesting.
Yeah.
Go back alive here.
I mean, if we're at lap 29, this would be a good time to go ahead and get it out of the way, unless they're banking on maybe another caution in the next 10 laps, which is kind of what we're averaging right now. But yeah, to stay out is going to be a little bit of a maybe they're hoping for, I don't know, they can't be hoping for a long green with this.
Well, if we do get a long green, then they're playing the fuel mileage game because they're going to get freight trained, 20, 30 laps into this run.
Yeah.
You get all your cars back?
Yeah, I don't know what, man. You know me and technology. For some reason, it doesn't like me, and especially when I want it to and I need it to, and my next action is based upon what that technology performs its task for me. It never wants to.
Yeah, welcome to my life.
So we are 30 laps into this 200-lap event at Richmond Raceway. I'm not going to say it no more, man. Richmond, in Richmond, Virginia, with the World Series of Sim Racing. Lee Tidwell and Robert Boyer Jr. joining you here. Man, you got a NASCAR name.
I do.
I can make it a name. Yeah, Robert Boyer Jr. And starting in 3rd position, Robert Boyer Jr.
And he's going to fall to last in 2 laps.
I have the most. There's very few people that know my full name, and if you did, it is one of the most NASCAR sounding names ever, and so I avoid that kind of like the plague. Not because of the NASCAR sound, it's because who I was named after. I don't necessarily associate with that person anymore.
Associate?
Associate? Like you don't talk,
Yeah.
you don't acknowledge them. You know?
Yeah. You don't acknowledge him no more, the person you're named after?
Long story. We'll do that one all fair.
Okay. All
I don't
right,
know why I
'cause-
got into it. I was
Well,
trying to,
now you got my brain going, and when you open your mouth, you have to finish the conversation, buddy, because I'm going to harp you now until I find out. But pace car lights are out.
as we'll go 1 to go to green. Green on this time around. Larry Yingling has led every lap of this race so far. Brian Johnson in second. McWhorter in third. Zach Hall fourth. Corey Blevins up to fifth position. Brandon Clark in sixth. And seventh will be the 77 of Mark Whitley. He performed well during practice. In eighth, Cedric Hunter. In ninth, Cody Cox. And in 10th, John Mullins will round it out. Coming into 3, the pace car will duck off. And here we go. Restart. And lap 33. Whoa, Larry got a little bit squirrely there on that gas. He got on it hard.
Yeah.
McWhorter on the inside. Going to charge in hard on Johnson, but Johnson with a nice run. They're going to be door to door coming out of 2 down the backstretch. Johnson and McWhorter for the second position. McWhorter with a little bit of momentum underneath him, but Johnson is strong in that top line. McWhorter, though, gets on the gas a little bit quicker and will take that second position. The 85 of Brandon Clark remains in 5th. Right behind Zach Hall, we got a battle for 6th between Cedric Hunter and the 24 of Blevins. Hunter on the outside, Blevins on the inside. Blevins got a little bit loose. Cedric up into the wall a little bit. And now the 77 of Whitley on the inside of Cedric Hunter. Hunter losing positions here.
Wow, that's shocking. That Hello Kitty is falling back. He did qualify in 14th position, so he's starting to fall back into that position, almost outside the top 10, as we got Levi Cox now looking down up underneath here. He's going to see if he can do something with Cedric Hunter, and he's going to get up underneath him, coming out of 4. Little squirrely, little loose there, but he's going to dive it down into turn 1. Whoa, and Mark, wait, hang on. Mark is trying to do the cutoff move, and Levi's going to give him room, Lee.
Man, Cedric had to get off of the gas hard because he came right up on the back end of Whitley. And now Cox looking to the inside of Whitley. The 94 machine of Maxwell Caldwell on the inside of Cedric Hunter. We've got a little booger back here, and it's getting sticky.
Ew. I don't even know where to go off that one, but we'll go with Levi here on the nose cam as he's going behind Corey Blevins here in that Heartland number 24. And he dives it. Wow. Oh, down on the apron. Does he stick it? No, he does not. Man, he drove that thing in way too deep. Oh, my goodness.
Well, the 7-7 of Whitley also just kissed the outside wall. Almost drives into the back of Hunter. Now the 95 machine of Bisson going to go into the inside of Whitley. Door taps with Whitley, takes the position, and now Whitley is going to fall all the way back to 11th position. Wow.
Oh, and there goes Corey. I was waiting for that. There was hard battling. These guys were not giving an inch lead. Holy. Okay, take a deep breath, guys.
It's such a joy when we have some battles like that back in the field for position, and some excellent driving there. But man, what a battle.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, we had about 5 cars not giving an inch, driving it down hard, trying to get every position they possibly can. And I think it's all about go, 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 go before the tires say no, 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 no.
And as I was predicting, Yingling going to pit, McWhorter is going to pit, Johnson is going to, Brandon Clark and Zach Hall, everyone who has not pitted yet, takes the pit stop here on lap 40 of 200 at Richmond.
Got a couple cars that did stay out. Levi Cox, Maxwell, and Cedric Hunter. Maxwell and Levi Cox there in that 99, 94 have pitted on lap 28. And then we got Cedric Hunter that pitted on lap 19. And then we got Alex, Jonathan, Jeff, Hollinsworth, Cody Cox, pitted on lap 4. So he's going to be the guy with the oldest tires there in P7.
Yeah, James Hackworth Jr. hitting on lap 29, so, you know, looking decent on here. Up 19 positions, sitting in the 8th spot right now.
What and happened? How did... Okay. All right. So it did all shuffle itself back around again. Okay. All right. I seen Joseph there beat Larry out of pit road, and I was like, what, did he take 2 tires? But data shows not. And not Levi, I do apologize. Larry is now back up there in front of him. So, okay, it all shuffled itself around. I was like, wow. Yeah, they lost me there for a minute watching him come out of pit road. I thought, wow, what did he do? That or Larry messed up his pit stop, which, you know, maybe we should put up a poll. Maybe next week ask some drivers about a poll on Facebook and ask if Zach Hall can go 1 race without not messing up his pit stop.
So just the rest of the season, it's all Zach Hall questions.
Yeah, might as well. Throw him under the bus every week.
That's awesome. Cedric Hunter, a big gainer here with this caution, up to 3rd position in that Hello Kitty machine.
Biggest mover of the field right now is going to be Alex Biston there, and at 95, up 19 positions. Maybe next time we get a yellow, maybe we can bring a driver down and have an interview with them and see exactly what these guys are dealing with or what they're dealing with out there tonight out here at Richmond, Virginia.
Yeah, because the experience in the car, I've jumped into the cockpit cam a couple different times, and they're having to fight them, it seems like.
Yeah, it looks like they're fighting entering, and then it seems like then they're really fighting it, you know, there in that center, and then they're fighting it coming out as of, you know, the data that we got back, you know, loose in, tight center, loose off. Again, I said at the beginning of the broadcast, I wouldn't even as a driver know how to even fix that. I wouldn't know what to do, move my brake bias forward, backwards, you know what I mean? Driver steering input, you know, could be maybe changed, but they would have had to all do that before we took the green flag. You know, once it's set for the brake bias. That's adjustable through the race.
Yep, on the back stretch. I'm terrible with brake bias. I still don't completely understand it. Pace car comes off.
Due to a point.
Levi Cox and Maxwell Caldwell. Oh, man, and look at the start there as Caldwell did not get a good start at all, was very slow off the starting line, off the throttle, and going to fall back to at least 4th, if not 5th. Levi Cox, Alex Bisson, and Maxwell Caldwell, Cedric Hunter, with outstanding restart.
Yeah, as we got Alex now here on Levi there, and that 99 trying to take over the lead here. He's looking down underneath, coming into 1. I believe this is a 2-lane track, and who's going to have that? It looks like Levi is going to hold this lead here under caution, as it looks like Joseph was involved into this one lead. Let's go back and see here. Slow motion as he screams across the start-finish line. He's going to come down into it. He comes down and didn't realize Jeff Hollinsworth was there, and around he goes. He tried to
clip the front end.
Well, what he tried to do is he tried to take that car high and then take it low and then come back out high, and didn't realize the 90. Jeff was there, the 97. So not too bad of a damage. I don't think that's going to harm him too bad. Rear end damage, it's not going to help, of course, but I think his crew can get that fixed.
We got a couple cars riding around without front ends, the 82 and the 20 back in the back, so that's going to be, I know the 20 is Dave, and I think it was the 82 that I saw that did not have a front end. The 82 would be Bob Skinner. Yeah, poor Bob Skinner got caught up in one of those earlier incidents and just no front end.
Oh, man, poor rock star Bob. Rockstar Bob.
I didn't know this was Saturday morning special.
Oh, hey now.
The more you know.
The more you know, the better off your close your ears.
Do you remember that show, Alf?
Yes. Loved it.
Yeah, that was an awesome show.
Yes. Alien from what was Alien
Life Form.
That's it. I had to think there. I remember, yeah, because I watched. Well, you know, you can still actually find that show on one of these streaming platforms. Actually, still have the whole seasons of it, and I came across it probably about 3 months ago, and I watched it, and then I was like, kind of stopped watching it because I guess maybe it's because it's so old that I've seen it all. You know.
Yeah, but I mean, he ate cats. You know, it was such a weird concept.
Out of the whole thing you talk about Alf, you say you eat cats.
He eats cats.
Come back here to Cedric Hunter. Cedric Hunter has kitty for the cats. Litter.
And that 13 bright pink Hello Kitty machine. And I tell you what, you know, and y'all told me about this when I first started, but Cedric actually ran that paint scheme after losing a bet. And then won that race and stuck with it, and everybody knows that 13 Hello Kitty car.
Oh my God, yeah. You bring that word up or that, they instantly know Cedric Hunter. Instantly. Dippers.
So lap 50, so we're a quarter of the way done here in Richmond.
I'd like to get a whole freaky fast car painted out there. Logos and all. Our colors, blue, white, freaky fast car. That'd be awesome.
That would be cool. I can paint cars, but I'm more of like the decal type guy. It would look like Cedric's car. You know, it got a couple of pictures here and there, and it's a color.
Right. All right.
But for Hello Kitty, that's the perfect car. That car just works so well.
Yes, it does. As he's in third position. Not bad considering where he started 14th, up 11 positions. But Alex is up to 21 positions. Wow. Started way back in the field here tonight. Back in 20th position.
Yep, and made a monster run. And we're only about 12 lap difference on tires from the set of Yingling, Clark, Whitley, Johnson, Hall. You know, that 7th on back. So it's going to be a fun start. Here we go. Pace car is off. Cox is going to be quickly onto the throttle and easily take into the lead. Bison's going to be in second. But now Bison to the top side. We're going to try to work that outside line. And he's got a small run, but not going to be able to get the nose up. Bison now had a great down the backstretch, but then Cedric Hunter now to the inside behind Cox. It's Bisson and Hunter side by side. Cox in the lead, and Maxwell Caldwell right behind them. Almost went 3 wide into 1, but we are going to be 2 wide with Cedric Hunter and Cox battling. Hunter couldn't hang on, got a little bit loose. Cox with a great run there. Bisson's going to take over second.
Wow.
Hunter settles back into third.
Yeah, Cedric Hunter's getting loose as we're riding here with Alex, and you can see the back ends are just, the guys just cannot get back on that gas pedal. They have to wait for that car to settle, and you can see when the back end kicks out that they have to get out of the gas to get it back under control. So that's where they're losing all their ground there. They're trying to exit, and then the next car is going to pounce when that happens.
The 85 machine of Brandon Clark battling with Zach Hall and Mark Whitley. Well, Zach Hall's right behind them. Sorry about that. The 85 of Clark dropping down to the inside, and now here comes Whitley. The 97 of Hollinsworth. Gets a little loose there, gets into Whitley. Whitley's going to go to the grass, and we got some lawn mowing going on. No yellow.
No yellow?
No yellow. We're going to keep racing.
Wow. As we're watching him get this thing back going out of the grass, the painting crew is not going to like that.
Brandon Clark overtakes the 33 of Smith, moves up into that 6th position.
We're on lap 57 here of 200 with World Series of Sim Racing. Come back here, and that's where we got Christopher Miller. Let's give a shout out in that 15. He's back here running, and 14th position, up 12 tonight there, Lee. And then we got Richard there in that 38. Jim Beam. I believe that is Jim Bean. Is that the sponsor card, I believe?
Jim Bean, yep.
Yep, running in 12th position here, up 1 position. Well, he was. As Brian Johnson. Joseph is now going to overtake that position on him. Corey Blevins was in a little spin. Nothing wrong there with that Heartland. Back here running in 15th position. And then we go back here to Brandon Cawley. In that number 1, up 4 positions. Started, running 17th, up 4 positions. We got James Hackworth Jr. back here, up 8 positions there in that Hardy's car. ZL1 Camaro running in 19th position. Cody Cox back here, the 54th, singer Cody Cox. Go check out his Facebook there at Cody Cox Music. And running there, let's see here, in 20th positions, down 4 positions. And then poor old Dave back here in that 20, up 4 positions, running 21st with no front end, but bravos to him for sticking it out and seeing what he can get out of this. So we'll go back up here to Larry here into the lead and head back over to Lee Tidwell.
The number 85 of Brandon Clark has charged up to 4th position, has been systematically picking people off. He has a very quick car right now. Yingling now to the outside, going to overtake Cox for 1st position. It looks like Bisson's looking to drop to the inside of Cox, not going to make it. But yeah, the 85 of Brandon Clark has just been charging up the field during that rundown. And he is really strong on this restart.
So is Zach Hall. He pitted on that 40, and he's all the way back up to 6th position right now, right behind his teammate there, Cedric Hunter.
And Zach Hall, as you said, all the way back, 6th position. So we're lap 63. Got a little extended green here. So Yingling, Cox, Bisson, Clark, Hunter, and Hall. And I thought we had a caution. It scared me. my screen changed, and I had flashbacks of yellow. Oh. Look at the lead of Larry Yingling, almost a second now. He has got a qualified on the pole and got just such a strong machine today.
Yeah, he's got a very strong machine. Looks like he's not slowing down here this year so far. But either is where is our Brian Johnson is back here in 9th position in that 28, trying to work over Chuck there and
battle for
position.
2nd.
Oh, now we got battle for 2nd.
Battle for 2nd is Bisson to the inside of Cox. Cox still strong on it, but Bisson's going to be able to take it over. The 85 of Clark looking to maybe sneak up as well. I told you he's fast, and Zach Hall right behind him as well. Look, Cox off the wall. Keeps it straight, but loses some momentum. Clark's going to overtake that position. Here comes Hall and Cedric Hunter, the 99 of Levi Cox. Continue to fall backwards there.
Riding along inside here with Zach Hall, watching the beautiful evening here at Richmond. Beautiful night for racing on a Saturday night here. Beautiful weather here on the East Coast.
Lap 68 of 200, and Robert, they're settling into that rhythm now. Brian Johnson looking to make his move as well, as he is back in 9th position. So we got Zach Hall now overtakes Clark.
Oh, you can hear it in the cockpit there, though, Lee. Loose. Zach Hall came out of turn 4 sideways. And there it is again, sideways. As the lights now have turned on about a couple laps ago here, so see if the track cools down for them. Oh, man. Oh, look how loose. Oh, my God.
He is driving it right on the edge. Clark behind him and Bisson in front of him, and this is a battle for second, third, and fourth. Zach Hall backstretch, trying to gain some momentum here on Bisson. And these three might decide just to settle in a rhythm right here.
Yeah.
Haven't seen Hall really charge, but yeah, these exits of these corners are still getting squirrely for a lot of these guys. You've got to be so precise. Hall now got a good exit there off of 2. Looking to the inside of Bisson, gets that nose down. Bisson's going to let him leave the door open for him. Here comes Hall down the front. He's going to be to the inside of Bisson. This is going to be for second position, as Zach Hall has continuously worked his way up the field, and now, wait for it. Oh, no, man, Bisson, man, great driving there by Alex Bisson. Still battling for that spot, but Zach Hall is going to take the second position away. Clark looking to follow on the inside of Bisson now. Clark on the inside of Bisson, and just holds it there to that yellow line. Nice driving by the 85 of Brandon Clark.
Yeah, I think Alex realizes he pitted on lap 28 and these guys pitted on lap 40. It is not worth fighting them. They got better tires. You're not going to hold them off. All you're going to do is 1 or 2. You're going to burn your tires off. You're not going to burn their tires off as fast as your tires, or you're just going to wreck each other. I mean, that's your two things, you know.
Yeah, the tire strategy, you know, it's better in a race like this, with just a simulation. You don't get fast repairs. If you wreck, your night is done. You've got to have that give and take, and Bisson getting a little squirrely there, just going into 1 and 2, but Larry Yingling with a 1.75 second lead over Zach Hall in second position.
Brian Johnson has moved his way up. Levi Cox has fallen back now here on lap 28 of his tires too. And then Cedric is holding right there in 7th position. Not bad considering he pitted last on lap 19 than anybody else here. Is pretty impressive to keep that car where it is right now with his tire wear. But less than 25 laps here, Lee. We are going to go to the good old Freaky Fast Crank Her Up, brought to you by the ButtKicker.
Were you throwing it to that, or
no,
was you just saying that's
in 25 laps?
I'm sorry. I thought I was trying to look at something and listen to you at the same time, and then I just barely picked up on it. I'm like, is he throwing it to it?
No, I said in 25 laps we will go to the ButtKicker. That will be our halfway point of the race. It will be lap 100 of 200.
So the number 20 of Dave now being called up to by the leader. Zach Hall gets around unscathed. Brandon Clark now coming around, but lap traffic starting to be an issue, and now Brian Johnson up to 5th position behind Bisson.
Yeah, and I think Alex is going to realize, you know, there's no point in fighting Brian. Brian pitted on lap 40. He's on lap 28, 20 lap difference roughly on tires. It's you know, there's no point in it right now. But this thing is what we were saying here, Lee, is it's coming down to fuel mileage, and this is starting to look like a really long green flag run here for these guys. So we're going to see a couple of these cars hit pit road, like Cedric Hunter. He can't stay out there that much longer than all these other guys, as he pitted on lap 19. The cars that pitted on lap 28 are eventually going to have to come in, and then the cars on lap 40 that pitted are going to have to come in on lap, you know, on their laps. And Joseph pitted on lap 47, so he's the car that can stay out the longest than anybody. So if we stay green from here on out, this is going to be interesting to see what this comes down to towards the last 70 laps of the race.
Yep, as we're on lap 82 of 200. Cedric Hunter continuing to fall back a little bit. Chuck Sweetie now going to overtake him as they're dealing with Dave Asia back there in the lap machine, the 20 car.
All right, well, before we get to lap 100, we got some viewers out there. And if we don't get an answer or a reply, then we will just pick. But who do we want to crank her up with here tonight? So put it in the chat box, YouTube or Facebook. Hit us up here, and don't be afraid to talk. It gives us something to talk back to you fans that do watch this, because if it wasn't for the leagues, the drivers, and the fans, we wouldn't have what we have here at Freaky Fast. So, it's a big community. We all have to work together, in my personal opinion. But what do I know?
You know everything. You're all knowing.
No, I don't. Don't tell my wife that.
Joseph McWhorter up to now 6th position as he overtook Levi Cox. Chuck Sweeting right behind Cox now, so they're dealing with the number 55 machine of James Dewar, one of the lap cars, who is so graciously taken to the high side, letting these guys just race underneath. So great job by him. But yeah, the field is kind of shaken out now under this extended green, and to see, as you were talking about, when the pit stops will happen, Cedric is going to have to take one, as he is got the most worn tires of the entire field at this moment. Or at least he's been out there longer than anybody else.
Yeah. I mean, you can add in a couple yellows flags there is going to help him too in that aspect, but still, he's going to be having the one that's going to have to come down before anybody else here, unless we see a yellow. But knock on wood, it looks like we're not going to as of right now, as everybody's just working around the field. Everybody's running their line, their race, and looking very clean now out here.
Yeah, everybody's got the rhythm down. They got their groove. Stella got her groove back at Richmond, and so everyone's working, working their line right now, and the leaders have just fallen into line, but Larry Yingling has got such a fast car that lead now is 2.5 seconds.
Wow.
With a battle, it's not really a battle, but the closest thing to a battle we have at the moment is going to be Brandon Clark in 2nd position, Zach Hall in 3rd, and Brian Johnson in 4th, and those three nose to tail coming around 3 and 4 towards the start-finish line. I told you, Brandon Clark's got a tough car, and he has drove all the way up now to 2nd place.
Up
but
20
Yingling,
positions.
Yeah. Yingling's fast.
Yeah, he's out there in his own little world right now.
Zach Hall right up to the back bumper of Brandon Clark.
And here comes his teammate.
Yep, I'm wondering if, because Zach doesn't look to be even attempting that pass. I think they're content to just sit and wait, because with the way that the lap times are going, Alex Bisson, our 5th place car, is 1.5 seconds behind Brian Johnson. So these 3 cars of Clark, Zach Hall, and Johnson, but Johnson out to the inside of Hall. Hall's going to give him that position of course teammates there, the way to do that teamwork. And let's see if Johnson's going to look to overtake Brandon Clark for the 2nd position.
I know last time we were here at Richmond here with World Series of Sim Racing League, well, it was a different name at that point, but Brian Johnson and Joseph ran about 30 laps side by side to the end. Maybe we can still see that here tonight. Like I said, Joseph has a little bit of damage. He got it fixed a little bit. I don't think it's harming him too bad. He's back here in 6th position, right behind his teammate there of Alex. That looks like Alex is just struggling now with the loose car.
Yeah, Alex Bisson in the... Is that 95? Yep, 95 machine. With McWhorter right behind him. McWhorter continues to pull closer and closer to that rear bumper. Now, we talked about 2nd, 3rd, and 4th being content. Let's see if 5th and 6th is going to be content. It's McWhorter behind Bisson, followed by Chuck Sweeting. And yeah, it looks like they're going to be content as well. Zach Hall has dropped back, and there goes Brian Johnson on the inside of Clark. Going to take that 2nd position.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, one corner, too. One turn, and it was done.
I'm telling you right now, season 2, it's coming down between Larry and Brian. These two from the start of the season just been hot. They've been on a roll. Brian's had an up and down season and a couple accidents. He had a fluffed one up about 2 weeks ago, but he's still running strong. He bounced back into points. He won last week. He's running in second tonight. Larry's running in first. I mean, this is becoming a Brian Larry show right now this season with the tracks and what we have here in iRacing.
But Larry Yingling now with an over 3-second lead. All of them pitted on 40, our top 4 positions. Yingling, Johnson, Clark, and Zach Hall. But Larry Yingling, I don't know how many practice laps he turned this week, but man, he has got this track down. He has got his marks hit every time. He is ultra fast here tonight.
Come back here too, yeah, and we'll watch Chuck back here. Chuck is running in 7th position. Excuse me, he's got the battle going there for 6th position. He's gonna try to look to get by Alex here as they're going to be going by Mark Whitley there in that 77.
Right ahead of them, Zach Hall, McWhorter to the inside and takes that position from Hall. Hall has to check up before he goes into the back bumper. But McWhorter, now we got a caution out.
Lap 98 when we're about ready to go to the ButtKicker, and that will have to hold off as it looks like Kinney.
Yeah, Stephen Kinney.
Yeah, let's go back and see here. What happened? Nope, didn't happen there. I slowed it down too soon. Let's oh yeah, came up into the 55, or the 55 came down into him, and on the front stretch, and you can see that spinning out. I don't know if he hits anything else. As you can see, who is that in the? Oh, that is the 38, I think of. No, that's the 10 of Sean. He's swinging by there on the apron. Looks like he's gonna miss him, and I think that's it. This unfortunately, 2 drivers going for the same oh man, I just had a brain fart what I was going to say. Sorry.
Nah, you're fine. So this benefits Cedric Hunter more than anyone else.
Yes.
As the leaders are going to be taking the pits. We got Yingling, Johnson, Clark, the 32 of McWhorter, Hall, and Bisson all pitting. Hunter's going to be pitting. Yeah, it's a pit party here in Richmond.
Like it's 1999.
The top 17 cars are
like
pitting.
2017 pit party.
Christopher Miller stayed on the outside, or stayed out on the track. He pitted on lap 40, so he's going to lead a lap. Started in 26th position, so that helps him a little bit there.
All right, as everybody comes in, it's going to make the pit stops, rolling back out. Looks like Christopher Miller is going to stay out in that 15. Looks like he wants to lead a lap, get a bonus point here, try to make up some points as he did miss last week's race. Or is he? No, he's not a lap down.
Now, so pitting on lap 101 for most of the field. Got a Mark Whitley, James Hackworth Jr., and Ron Holyfield in the pits right now as well. So Christopher Miller in the number 15 car stays out. Cody Cox in the 54 machine stays out as well. Cox will move up to 6th position. Last pitting on lap number 47. So, he's been out for a minute, man. Not to come in.
Yeah, all right. Well, no one picked in-car. So when we go back green here, who do we want to crank her up? Brought to you by the ButtKicker here, Lee. Make sure you go over and check out the ButtKicker/Gamer2, and you can put in and order the Gamer2 version of the ButtKicker and put in your promo code FreakyFast20, and that's with 2 E's, not EA, FreakyFast20, and you get 20% off your order. Get a discount of 20% off on your complete order, or any order that you do over there. It doesn't have to be the Gamer 2. It can be any product over there, and you'll get a 20% discount off your complete order. So who do we want to crank her up with here when we go back green?
Well, real quick, Miller went into the pit, so it's going to put Yingling back in the lead position, and we need to jump into the number 85 of Brandon Clark.
All right, that's who we're going to ride with here as they get ready then here to go back green here. So let me get this all set up. I think they got one more lap to go here. Yep.
So while you do that, I'll run through your field real quick.
All right.
Yingling still in the top position. Johnson will be in second. Brandon Clark third, and fourth will be Joseph McWhorter. Fifth is Zach Hall. Alex Bison in sixth. Tweedian in seventh. Blevins in eighth. Levi Cox in ninth. And rounding out your top 10, the biggest benefactor of the caution, the number 13 machine of Cedric Hunter. There's your top 10. We are in the backstretch, about to restart at lap 97, almost halfway here at Richmond Raceway in Richmond, Virginia. The World Series of Sim Racing on Freaky Fast Broadcasting each and every Saturday night here on the interwebs. The pace car is off. We're going to crank her up. 85, Brandon Clark. Crank it up.
We're back after that segment brought to you by the ButtKicker. Make sure you go and check out the ButtKicker.com and use Freaky Fast promo code FreakyFast20 to get 20% off your discount over at the ButtKicker.com. But all right, Lee, back to the race we go. Brandon Clark, Larry is going to be in first and second position with Brian Johnson there in the third position here in your top three with on lap 113 of 200 of World Series of Sim Racing.
Yeah, we saw Johnson and Bisson battling from that rear camera of Brandon Clark during that cranker up, and they battled back and forth along with Zach Hall and McWhorter right behind them. But now we've settled into that group, the 20 of Dave getting passed by Yingling, and now coming up for the 85 of Brandon Clark. So once again, dealing with that lap machine. Levi Cox is going to overtake McWhorter and settle in behind Zach Hall. for the 6th position. And we got a caution. Corey Blevins.
Looks like Corey Blevins was involved. So let's go back and see what happened with Corey here. As he's bringing it out. Oh, well, that was a kissy by accident. That was nothing else. Look at Cedric Hunter. He was like, whoa, hang on. Yo, don't know where to go. Oh.
Yeah. Man, that's just an unfortunate accident that brings out a caution with 85 to go. The number 24 machine of Corey Blevins taking that spin, and that is now going to reset us a little bit. Not too hard off that inside wall, but Larry Yingling once again showed the power that he has tonight and jumped out to an amazing lead. But Brandon Clark moving up to 2nd, and now we're going to bring the leaders are going to come down pit road. Our top 18 cars all in the pit area.
Yeah, I can't wait to see them put in a tire limit because right now it doesn't matter. They just got done running, what, 10 laps maybe?
Yeah.
So come in, get 4 fresh tires, but once they put in that tire limit, you know, this right here could be a total different circumstance.
And we watch them come out. Whitley's going to stay out and take the number 1 position to get that lap led. And plus, he pitted on lap 101, so maybe strategy working here for Whitley. But Whitley now going in.
Yeah. Well, he stayed out to get a bonus point. So.
Gotcha. So we shake up Yingling, Clark, Johnson, Bisson, and Hall, your top 5. And that seems to be the first half of the race theme is really these 5, along with Zach Hall has been running a great race as well. Levi Cox in 7th, McWhorter in 8th, Sweden in 9th, Caldwell in 10th, Jonathan Smith in 11th, Mullins in 12th, Richard Swaverly, we haven't talked about him much tonight, now in the 13th position. But as they shake up for this pit, this caution, 83 to go at Richmond. As the sun went down, Robert, the lights came up, the track temperature didn't change too much, 86 degrees. So we've been laying down some rubber, and as you get to see with these lovely iRacing graphics, that you can see where the rubber has been laid down on this track tonight. They're getting better control, longer green flag runs, and I believe we got some strong cars, and one of them that we haven't talked about a lot in previous races, but Brandon Clark is running an outstanding race here today.
Yes, he is, and we got somebody out there rooting on Alex on Facebook. Let's go, Alex. So Alex is up there in 4th position right now, 19 positions up. So that's where he is running right now.
Yeah, Alex has been running strong today, too, in that top 10 pretty much consistently the entire day. Alex starting way back in the field. Him and Brandon Clark, think about this stat. Brandon Clark started 22nd in the 2nd position. Alex Bisson started 23rd, now in the 4th position. Those two have made the biggest jumps and have pitted along with these leaders. And as we get ready to come back to green this time around, they have put themselves in an excellent position with 81 to go.
That's right. All right. They're going to get double file here. Wait for that official pace car to duck in here at Richmond, Virginia Raceway.
This restart's going to be interesting because I believe Clark is going to try to time Yingling's start and race him into 1. I think you've got to get in front of Larry before he gets that lead, and Larry gets an excellent restart. What a jump by Yingling. Bisson's going to follow him, looking to overtake the 2nd position from Clark. Clark stays down to the inside, hugged on the yellow line. Yingling in 1st, Clark will be in 2nd. Bisson 3rd, Johnson 4th, and it's going to be Hall and Cox battling for 5th. Cox is going to take the outside and work the 5th position. In 2nd, Bisson and Clark to the line, nose to nose. Bisson barely across in front. Clark on the inside, Bisson on the outside. Brian Johnson watching this unfold in front of him as he's got a battle in front and a battle behind him. Larry Yingling going to continue to pull on, but Bisson now with a nice little run there. Clark's going to make it up there in the apex. And we got a battle for second and for fifth. And Sweeting just went out. Sweeting spins. No caution. Sweeting spins, no caution, and we continue to race down the backstretch. The battle for second. It's going to be Clark. There's the caution.
Yeah, unfortunately, it looks like Richard was involved in that 38. Let's go back and see here, Lee, what happened to him. As we thought Chuck was going to bring out the yellow, he didn't. And let's see here. Corey Blevins just slid up the track. I'm telling you, I said it last week. Richard, I feel so bad for you, man. You can't get that monkey off your back. Cedric Hunter, he's going all over the place again. He's stuck in. poor guy. But you know what? It wasn't that bad, though. Looks like I don't think anybody's going to run into Richard there. He just slid up the track. He didn't even put it into the wall.
Yeah, I think maybe that mixed along with Sweeting mowing some grass. Maybe the combination brings it out. But yeah, we are under caution again. And poor Corey Blevins, this has not been his evening.
No, and poor Richard gets involved in something else, but not bad. No damage. Just got a little love tap there, kissy-kissy, like you like to say there, on the left side door. And he slid up the track, stopped, and hit the wall. He's going to bring it down, get a little bit of fix. If he has any damage, he might. I don't even know if he does. And, get 4 tires. You got Cedric Hunter there. He went in because that's 2 cautions in a row. He was back in the heated mess. So maybe we should bring. Let's talk to. Where's he at? Let's bring Cedric Hunter down and see how he feels about them 2 yellows. Cedric, Robert up here in the booth. Got a copy, buddy?
Yes, I do.
Well, how's it feel? Back-to-back yellows, and you happen to be right there in front of you, and you were dodging, weaving, and God, I bet you probably thought, oh my God, 2 in a row.
Oh, yeah, I mean, it's nerve-wracking, and I don't want to be here, but unfortunately I am. Got unlucky there with the first one, and with these cautions and stuff, and we're in the position we are in, so it's just a matter of digging ourselves out and hopefully aiming for top 10, but if I can do better than that, that's even better.
And all right, and Lee, you got any questions there for Cedric Hunter in that Hello Kitty car?
Well, Cedric, it looked like that first caution, well, not the first, we've had a few tonight, but the one before this one really benefited you where you needed that pit. But why did you pit on this one as well? Did you have some damage or just curious?
No, I mean, I lost 1 position from pitting here, and so, I mean, even though we basically went half a lap, I guess fresh rubber's fresh rubber. I didn't really lose anything for pitting, and I'm already back here, so, hopefully it does something to help me out here, and hopefully we can go to the front.
Awesome. Well, Cedric, we appreciate you joining us here in the booth. Good luck the next 74 laps, and hopefully we'll speak to you in an interview after this race, sir.
That would be awesome.
All right, thank you, Cedric. That's Cedric Hunter in the number 13 Hello Kitty machine. Right now running in the 15th position. Did lose, as he said, 1 position there on that pit stop. But, it's one of the things we talked about, Robert. Once they institute the tire limits here, that fresh rubber is fresh rubber concept will be gone. And that's why I asked that question. I want to see if it was kind of what we were thinking about, is just pit when you can. Yeah. To get that fresh rubber, because there is no limitations on it.
Yep, you're absolutely right, and we were right, but we're getting double foul here, and we got Larry out there on Facebook, says he thinks Brandon would like an interview the next caution. Well, that can be done. So, all right, getting ready to go back green. Has lights are out on that pace car, iRacing.com pace car. Getting ready to go back green here on lap 128. So,
yep, 73 to go. Yingling, Bisson, Clark, Johnson, and Cox, your top 5, and here we go. Not as good of a start for Yingling this time, as everyone kind of had it. Timed perfectly. Bisson and Clark battling for second. Johnson's going to come up on the outside of Levi Cox not make the pass there. The battle is for second. Clark on the inside, Bisson on the outside. Larry Yingling in first position, but Cox on the inside of Bisson. Going to make it across the start-finish line. First, stay in second. Bisson with a nice run there going into one. The apex of one going into two. Now the exit of two. And Brandon Clark trying to be able to slide up in front of Bisson, but not able to, and maybe will after this one. And yes, going to completely take that second position. Levi Cox now looking to the inside of Bisson. Bisson gets a little wiggly there, so Cox is going to go to the inside, and here comes Johnson as well. Bisson moving backwards in the field, now in fourth position, and Brian Johnson right behind him. Not a good restart, Robert, for the number 95 machine.
Oh, Levi got loose coming out of the turn. He did save it. He's going to lose all them positions he was just gaining their lead. But, yeah, it wasn't a good start there for Alex at all. And but right now, see here in the team-wise, I'm trying to see. We got Driven Motorsports up to third position, highest running car right now for these guys on that team. Then we got Yin Yang Wing Wangs running first and second because I like the.
Whoa! Clark got loose there, and Bisson's going to overtake that second position. Clark falls down into third. Johnson on the outside of Levi Cox.
Yeah,
battling for that fourth.
I think these guys are starting to pick up the pace because
yes.
2 laps ago, Brandon Clark and Levi Cox both put down the fastest lap of their race, not of the race, but you can tell things are picking up here, and it's I think what's happening here, Lee, is the temperature with it getting under the lights. It's getting cooler. Track temperature might not be getting cooler, but rubber's being laid down. These cars are starting to feel faster and faster, and these drivers are starting to feel, racier and racier.
Exactly. Racier and racier. Larry Yingling in first position.
Like that?
I like that. About a second and a half lead now over Bisson in second. Clark will be in third. Cox and Johnson battling for fourth. Cox on the outside, Levi Johnson on the inside as they come back down the back stretch into three. Johnson on the inside now.
He's got
looking to take that position. He's got McWhorter right behind him. McWhorter drops to the inside as well. Levi Cox is stuck on the outside. But Brian, and he kissed the wall there. So not only is McWhorter going to come by, now Zach Hall's going to drop down to the inside and look to take a position from Levi Cox as well. Levi Cox back to fifth and still drifting a little bit, but now has got back into the line, but maybe not enough with Zach Hall in that inside groove. He's probably going to be able to take this position in the next couple of laps. Look, door banging there between Cox and Hall. Down the backstretch now coming into three.
Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on with that Mountain Dew there, Lee and Levi, but that thing is not being nice to him right now. You can see him really struggling on the exits, and it's loose. He did scrape the wall. It's like the tires are just not doing what he wants it to do right now as he falls all the way back to seventh position as we got Maxwell here in that 94. He's going to try to pounce on that 99 with them beat up tires and see if he can maybe do something with them. And then we got Cedric Hunter back here with Jonathan and Mark all back here battling it for, let's see here, 9th, 10th, and 11th position as of right now. And then right behind that, we got Brandon Coley in that one we did not talk about. He's back here with Corey Blevins and Jeff Hollingsworth. They're back here battling it for 12th, 13th, 14th, 15th. And then we got Chuck back here. We got Christopher Miller back here. We got John back here in the 64. Richard bouncing back now after that little bit of a spin, bringing out the last yellow. Car looks good. Car looks clean, and he's trying to work his way up through the field. And we'll hand it back over to you, Lee.
Larry Yingling continues to extend his lead, now up to 2 seconds. Everyone falling back into line. Yingling, Bisson, Clark, Johnson, Hall, your top five. McWhorter, Cox, Caldwell, Hunter, and Mark Whitley rounding out your top 10. And then right outside the top 10, Smith and Blevins. The 5 of Zach Hall. Now right behind the 28 of Johnson. And then now Clark took that turn a little wide. Not only is Johnson going to take a position, so is Hall. Clark now going to come to the bottom to try to block McWhorter. McWhorter going to punt him out of the way down to the bottom side, and Clark's going to lose another position here.
Wow, what happened there? Oh, now they door loving.
Little door touch there.
Oh,
retaliation. Clark to the inside of McWhorter, out of 2 down the backstretch. This is a battle now for 5th as Clark's begin to fall back. Levi Cox on the inside of McWhorter as well. The tit for tat there, McWhorter and Clark.
Oh, does McWhorter come back and do this? Nope, he doesn't.
Oh.
Okay.
And Levi Cox had the opportunity to punt Clark there, but did not do it.
Yeah.
And we got some bumping going on.
A little loving, a little kissing, a little bumping, a little shoving. Welcome to World Series of Sim Racing League. If you're not enjoying this, well, then I don't know what to tell you.
55 to go here in Richmond. We come into turn 1. Yingling still in first, Bissett in second, Johnson in third, Hall in fourth.
I don't know if I want to interview Brandon now after all that. Oh, boy.
We've got Zach Hall trying to catch up to the back end of Brandon Johnson, those teammates. A 2-second lead for Larry Yingling. Johnson is a half a second behind Bisson. Hall a third of a second behind Johnson. Clark then over a second behind Zach Hall. So the first 4 cars with a nice second cushion between 4th and 5th.
Yeah, it looks like we got single file. It's starting to actually look like we're going to get a green flag run here again, as we're single file all the way back. Let me see if we can find anything back here to... Well, we do got Corey Blevins looking down underneath of Jonathan here. We got Chuck trying to work his way. That's about the only battle back here, 10th, 11th, 12th, give or take.
Pretty much. I mean, I'm watching Mark Whitley right now. Whitley right behind the 94 of Maxwell Caldwell. That's that 9th, 10th, and 11th battle, or 9th and 10th battle between Whitley and Caldwell. Whitley, as we saw in our montage from last week, got caught up in one of those incidents, spinning around on the front stretch, bringing out one of the mini cautions at New Hampshire last week in Loudon. But here at Richmond, we've had some cautions, but we've had some great green flag racing here as well. 51 to go with the World Series of Sim Racing. Larry Yingling has been dominant tonight.
Looking here, last time they pitted was top 7th, yes, top 7th positions there, pitted on lap 116. So I don't think they're gonna have to make another pit stop. I think they can run this out. They do run 100% fuel load lead, so I think they can go the rest of this distance. 50, let's see here.
McWhorter looking to the inside of Levi Cox. Right behind Brandon Clark. This is a battle for 6th position. McWhorter to the inside, Cox on the outside. Cedric Hunter's right behind them. Brandon Clark in front of him. McWhorter and Cox now coming across the start-finish line. It's going to be Cox in the lead. McWhorter's got the inside edge, though. Now into 1. McWhorter's going to dig in hard. Cedric Hunter right up to the back end of him. We come out of 2. And just to the rear quarter panel gets a nice little boost there going into 3 and pulls up door to door with Levi Cox. They 4-bang a little bit coming out of 4. McWhorter now across the line first. That's going to put McWhorter up to 6th position. Still battling out of 2. And Cedric Hunter is going to look to take advantage of this. If McWhorter can clear Cox, Hunter's going to keep that gap closed where Cox cannot come down in there.
Yeah, these guys are definitely battling here for the top, trying to get into 6th position, 7th, 8th. You know, these guys are just battling it right now. As Levi is actually looking pretty good on that high line. It looks like his tires finally are starting to come to him. his car's don't look so like out of whack. You know what I mean? It looks like it finally came to his driving style.
Yeah, they've been door to door, lap after lap. This has been an interesting battle for 7th position here, McWhorter and Cox. But just not quite enough. McWhorter's going to take that position, and then Cedric Hunter leapfrogs right in front of Levi Cox. That was polite of him.
Yeah, I was gonna say that was nice.
Okay, it looked so intentional. That's why I was like, you saw that too, right?
Yeah, he's like, oh, it's the kitty. I'm getting out of the way. He's gonna throw litter all over me.
Well, and with 44 to go as well, Cedric Hunter pitted on lap 124. Levi Cox only on lap 116. So some fresher rubber there. And Cox understanding that we better just go ahead and get out of the way and let Cedric do his thing. McWhorter, a little wiggly there across the start-finish line up to the 6th position. So we got Yingling, Bisson, Hall, Johnson, Clark, your top 5 really have not changed. 6 to 10, McWhorter, Hunter, Cox, Caldwell, Sweeting now up to the 10th position.
Oh, we got to give a shout out to Ron in that 21. Didn't talk about him all night, actually, Lee. You know, he's up 11 positions. He was caught up in a couple things, but he's still out there with the old guys rules racing team and still plugging away, trying to get his points, trying to do what he can, you know, to help the team out with anything. But, oh, man, I hate when you do the O thing because that scares me.
McWhorter went way high. I don't know exactly what happened, but now he's going to take the position as he drives around Levi Cox, and then the 13 of Cedric Hunter gets stuck on the outside. But, yeah, McWhorter went way high on that.
And
pushed that group back up, yeah.
You can see his tires he's pushing exiting. It looks like he's tight exiting now. It's not the loose condition that we were dealing with earlier for him, at least in that 32. It's looking like because he's taking his left tires and putting it on the yellow line just to try to de-wedge the car for it to turn. And it seems like it's working, but now we got the 32 and the 99 of Levi Cox looking to try. Oh, Levi gets a little loose exiting out of that turn.
As we now come out of 2, dealing with the 20 of Dave. Props for getting out there and getting those laps ran. So we all drop down to the inside, and we got a battle with Sweeting and the 94. The 94 of Maxwell Caldwell. And Dave is right in the middle of it. Sweeting maybe good. How is this going to play out?
I don't know. I've been, you know, with these two battling with the top, Joseph, Cedric, and Levi, that actually gave Maxwell and Chuck a chance, and they are now caught up to, as you can see, Chuck has caught Levi. So now we got a battle for 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th.
Cox beats it. Levi Cox got a little loose there, and Sweeting going to take the outside line on him. Levi Cox regains it coming out of 2, but Sweeting with a nice run is going to take that position and go up to 9th. Make that 8th, excuse me.
Yeah, he's up to 8th. Now he's got Joseph right there in front of him in that 32, a half a second right behind that 32 there. Pretty beat up car now. It's got some front end damage, it's got left side damage, it got right side damage, and it definitely got rear end damage.
Yeah, you can tell that Levi Cox just does not have the tires of some of these other guys.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
but Maxwell Caldwell pitted at 116 as well. So Caldwell and Cox both with the same tires, depending on driving style, of course.
Yes, and that's, oh, look at it. Oh, Joseph going around. Look out, look out, look out, look out, look out. Oh.
McWhorter loses it. Spins it around, and the 94 of Maxwell Caldwell with a little kissy kiss to the back quarter panel, and we have caution with 34 to go.
Let's see what happened here, Joe. Oh, that thing just kicked right out of the blue. Bipolar tires, just all of a sudden, whoop, and around it went as we watch slow motion here, Lee. And you can see the 94 says, oh my God, hit the brakes, hit the brakes. Maxwell says, and takes off the back end of the car.
Yeah, they were trying to get around that. I mean, some great driving by Joseph McWhorter, the 32 machine. to keep that in one place and not up and down the track. But the 94 car of Max Hill Caldwell, we got a little bit of damage here to the front end as he's going to come down pit road. And this is going to shake it up. 30 to go when we come back to green. As we watch the pit strategies now, Brandon Coley stays out there and will pick up one of those bonus points, and everyone else all the way back to Bob Skinner in 21st comes in. Also, Cody Cox stays out.
All right.
Or Cody Cox was the first one out. No, my bad. Second one out.
All right. Well, hey, let's bring down Brandon here and Clark, and let's see what he has to say. Hey, Brandon, Robert up here in the booth. You got a copy, buddy?
Oh, yeah.
Well, man, you had some action pack going on there. We don't have to talk about that if you don't want to, but how is the race going out there for you, man? You are up and down. You're battling it. Your teammate, Larry, is just blazingly freaking fast tonight as he's freaking fast broadcasting and is covering them.
Yeah, I tell you what, Robert, turn one is absolutely killing me. Turn one will be the death of me. If I was to wreck, it's going to be in turn one.
And what's going on with turn one?
These cars are pretty loose under braking and under exit and everything. They just feel light is the big thing.
Okay. All right. Hey, Lee, you got anything to ask that 85 there, One Bite Pizza Machine?
Brandon, we watched you, have a strong green flag run and just pick spots off left and right. 30 laps to go when we go back to green. What's the strategy here? Are you going to set back and kind of see how it plays out, or are you going to start picking those spots? Because you've got a tough machine tonight.
30 to go, you probably just ought to go for it, I guess. Going to be as aggressive as I can.
Awesome. Well, we appreciate you joining us. Good luck with the rest of the race, sir. And thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you, guys.
All right, no
and
problem.
That's the 85 Toyota of Brandon Clark, currently sitting in 6th position. And Robert, that was an outstanding little green flag run we had there, and it does set us up for a shootout here at the end.
Yep, we don't gotta worry about fuel anymore. That's out the window. So we don't have to worry about that anymore. It's basically who can save tires, and do you run it to the to the walls or not?
Exactly. I mean, because the more you can get into the throttle, the better it is. I tell you what, Brandon Coley did not pit at all.
Yeah,
he stayed out.
And that just told me that they can make it on fuel. So, that there is your call. But he's a sitting duck. New tires. I wouldn't be surprised if he goes down to the apron here, Lee, and gets out of everybody's way, because if not, he is going to get freight trained. It's going to be a bottleneck going on. Cold tires. Let's see if he doesn't spin the tires as we go back to green here. And that one does get a good jump. Good job, Brandon. Good job.
Brandon Coley with a nice start, but Yingling going to power move on that outside and take the first position. Zach Hall going to follow. We got to stack up of the field behind Coley, and now he's just trying to stay out of everyone's way. Clark on the outside of him now. Johnson on the inside, and Coley slowly but surely moving backwards. Hunter on the inside of him now. Now Sweeting's going to pass him on the inside. The 15 gets Wiggly in the back.
Oh, my goodness.
The 15 of Christopher Miller got Wiggly. Then he just came up into the 97, and there's another caution. Hollinsworth gets banged into the wall by the 15 of Christopher Miller. And we've got another caution.
Oh, man. Well, let's go back and see this here. As you can see here, it's put on slow motion here. And, oh, yeah, he's going up the track, trying to keep it off that 97. And I think that 97 just comes down. Yep, and I still see no. Oh, okay, there it is now. I was going to say, I didn't see too much of a bad thing there until they double tapped each other and put the 97, like you said, Lee, up into the wall. And that's going to take the 15 and spin it around, coming out of 2. And that's going to put us under the next yellow. And you know what? I keep saying end. I don't know why, but that definitely, yep, I knew he was going to. that number one, Brandon Coley, he's coming in and getting that actually might have worked out perfectly for him.
That really might have, because right now, going to have a little fresher tires, just a couple of laps, but he's able to lead that lap. But yeah, if that would have stayed green, that was getting scary with Coley just sliding back, and everybody, it was like parting the Red Seas or something, man. He was just there, and everybody either top side or bottom side, and he was getting steamrolled. So lucky caution there for Coley. He is in the pits now. We will shake it out with 26 to go at the moment. Yingling in first, Zach Hall in second, Alex Bisson in third, Brian Johnson in fourth, Brandon Clark in fifth. Cedric Hunter will be in your sixth position, Chuck Sweeting in seventh, Levi Cox in eighth, Corey Blevins up to ninth, and Maxwell Caldwell in 10th. Bisson still highly impressive, started 23rd tonight in the third position and has been looking strong. I tell you what, Larry Yingling has looked dominant tonight. Zach Hall has looked strong. Bisson strong. Johnson strong. Clark is strong. Cedric Hunter's strong. Everybody has had their strong moments tonight. I just cannot wait until the shootout here at the end.
I was going to say, you're just going to keep rolling through the field? Might as well. I mean, you're halfway through.
Every time I see the next name, I'm like, they've had a strong run tonight, too. Oh, they've had a strong run tonight, too. And it's like, well, I didn't want to leave somebody out.
Right. Well, to give everybody out there that comes back and watches this or is watching it live, if you are looking for a Saturday Night League that runs these Gen 6 cars here in iRacing, no damage. There's a lot of things going on where the series is actually sponsored by here, Freaky Fast. So we are sponsoring this series. There is prizes at the end of the season. It's also sponsored by iPinning. Make sure you go over and check out iPinning.com. I don't know if you've never checked it out, Lee, but when you get time, go to iPinning.com and check out what it is for iRacing. But make sure you check these guys up on World Series of Sim Racing League on Facebook, or you can check them out on iRacing's league portal page. Just look up World Series of Sim Racing League, send in your application, and an admin will get with hold of you within a week or so. I'd say no later than a week.
Yeah, highly competitive group of drivers we have here with the World Series of Sim Racing, and been a great night tonight at Richmond. Not quite as caution-filled as New Hampshire, but it's had its moments.
Yeah, most definitely. I'm enjoying this a lot as we're getting ready to get down to that famous 10 to go where my friend Lee Tidwell will call the last race. 10 laps.
Oh, man. When they get to 10, these guys really do go all out, and we've got such a strong field here tonight. Even though we've talked about the issues with the corners and the tires, the drivers have talked about how loose the cars are, but they have still driven the heck out of this track tonight.
Yes, they have. All right, man. Pace car is in, getting ready to go back green. And boogity, 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 green flag is out for 23 laps to go here at Richmond, Virginia.
Yingling's going to be hard on the throttle into first position. Bisson on the inside looking to take second from Zach Hall. Hall now going to let him have it. And Bisson got a little bit wiggly there as he got onto the throttle, but not completely clear of Zach Hall yet. Then it's going to be Brandon Clark in fourth position, Brian Johnson in fifth, Sweeting in sixth, and Cedric Hunter in seventh. Now we come into one. We settle into single file now with 21 to go. And Larry Yingling starting to pull that gap now at a 0.4 second. Showing that dominant machine tonight, that 67 Ford of Larry Yingling. Bisson in second, Zach Hall in third. We look back to fourth now with Brandon Clark battling Brian Johnson. Johnson, our first two-time winner of the season, sitting in fifth position, right behind the 85 of Brandon Clark, who has been also extremely strong tonight. And we've kind of settled completely into single file now, Robert. These guys are holding back. Oh, Levi Cox getting loose a little bit.
Wow. What a save. And,
oh, we do got a caution.
It looks like Christopher Miller was involved in that one. Let's go back and see on that 15 here. As it looks like, oh, it just came out from underneath him, man. There's nothing he can do. And hang on, he is going to go grass hopping, throwing some mud on the track. And that poor guy, whoever paints that Coca-Cola there, is going to be all upset at these drivers. He's just ripping them signs all apart. Comes back up on the track, and the 52 goes by, clears. The 55 goes by and clears. And it looks like he's just going to come to a halt here as we got more cars coming by. But, all right, well, we go back live here, Lee, as we're back under yellow. And Alex, whoa! I thought he was going to hit the barrels.
You scared me. I'm like, what?
Oh, jeez.
So the 15 of Christopher Miller not having a very good night at all tonight. And he's going to go into the pit. So what was going on with Bisson? I missed it.
He was fake pit. He was going to go down, and I actually thought he committed, and he didn't, and he came back up on the track, and I thought he was going to run into the barrels there in the beginning of pit road.
Oh, man, so we're going to shake, the more cautions we have here at the end, the more it bunches this field up, and we saw how these guys can race side by side at this track. So we're going to have about a 15-lap shootout when we come back to green. Yingling, Bisson, Hall, Clark, and Johnson still your top 5.
All right.
Yeah, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I was looking at something.
No, you're good. You're good.
All right. Well, looking here, also, I gotta give a shout out to Corey Blevins in that 24. He's up to 8th position. Needs them points, though. I tell you, there's some drivers back through the field here that need the points. Maxwell. We got Joseph there, 32. He needs the points. Who else is John? Is got some decent points here tonight. He needs a good finish. Cedric Hunter definitely needs a good finish to stay in the points, where he's at in the points at least.
We still have 20 cars on the lead lap. So even though we've had cautions here tonight, we've still got a lot of cars in the field on this lead lap with 15 to go right now. 15 to go at Richmond Raceway in Richmond, Virginia. An excellent little town. Have you ever been to Richmond, Virginia, Robert?
I drove through it, but actually that's it. To go down south to North Carolina. But other than that, no.
It's a pretty little town. I like their airport. It's a small little airport. You can still get flights pretty much anywhere you want to go, but it's not those long security lines and stuff. I mean, here in Nashville, you got to wait forever through security. But Richmond, man, you can get there 30 minutes before your flight and zoom right on through.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I drove through it, and but that's about it. Going down Interstate 95 a couple of years ago. Yeah, which I recommend not driving.
Yeah, if you go through Richmond, make sure you got change for the tolls.
Well, that, and make sure you go to speed limit because, I'm going to say it nicely, cops there are very nice.
Oh, yes.
That's all I'm saying. They'll get you.
Coming down to take the green. Oh, they delayed the green, so we're going to do one more, I believe.
No, I'm showing pace car lights are out. Pace car's ducking in.
My bad. All right, here we go. Pace car is in, so we will go green. Larry Yingling on the throttle. Bisson tried to get into it that quick. Able to drop down in front of Zach Hall. Johnson looking to the inside of Clark for that 4th position. So there's your battle there. For 4th already is going to be Brandon Clark on the outside. Brian Johnson on the inside. Johnson, our 2-time winner this season. Winner of last week at New Hampshire. They're going to take that 4th position. Chuck Sweeting has to let off there and check up a little bit. Brandon Clark settles into 5th. We got a battle back behind them. Levi Cox in the 99. Battling with Mark Whitley. Oh, we got a wreck. Cox is going around. McQuarter goes around. Cedric Hunter is involved. And we've got some angry drivers out there as we just had the big one here at Richmond with 11 to go. Robert, wow. $11 to go here, and the big one comes out. As we had some door bumping between the 24 of Blevins and Levi Cox. They get into the 77 of Whitley. They get into McWhorter. There was a lot of bumping going on. Cedric Hunter's involved. Skinner's involved. The 38 machine of Swaverly gets involved. Man. Drivers now checking their damages.
Oops, I was muted. Sorry. My bad.
Yeah, I just ran with
Just
it, man.
ran with it. Yeah.
I saw that the replay was going. I'm like, I know he's at least producing, so we're good.
Yeah, I hit my button by accident. Sometimes I bring my arm up to hit other buttons, and I always sideswipe my mute button by accident. So I look down and go, well, duh. No wonder he's not answering me.
So, yeah, that was the big one.
Yeah.
So many involved. And as I said, the 24, there we go, of Blevins coming up into that 99 car of Levi Cox. And it just caused a pile up and a shake up. So here we go. The top 5 will remain the same.
It actually started with Maxwell getting in the back of Mark Whitley. That's where it all started at. Yeah. They just, Mark Whitley checked up a little bit or slowed down or the other way around. The 94 just came in a little bit too fast and wasn't ready for it. Got him in the left rear, and before you know it, it was nothing but carnage behind the whole thing.
So lots of cars involved.
Yeah, a lot. I can't even count them. Let me see if I can even count how many's involved here.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 9?
Well, yep, 9. 9 cars. That's the big one.
Yes, it is. And luckily, it was not around the race leader. So we still got the top 5, as I said, ready. Was not involved with that. Sweeting in the 6th position. Looks to have escaped unscathed. Levi Cox is still showing in that 7th position, so not too much damage there. Let's take a look at him. Man, these cars are battered and bruised and dirty.
Welcome to short track racing.
That back end of the Code Red machine of Levi Cox crumpled. Cedric Hunter with no front end anymore on the Hello Kitty machine. The kitty's missing her lips. As we double file to come around and get ready for green flag racing.
Green flag.
Larry Yingling to the line in first. This is going to be in second. Johnson and Hall battling for third teammates there. With Brandon Clark in 5th position. Johnson on the outside. Clark has the position on him. And Zach Hall is going to hold up Brandon Clark. Nice work there. Going to let Johnson come on by and slide into that 3rd spot. Well, I said that, but Johnson did not complete the pass there. We're battling down the backstretch. Now going into 3. And Zach Hall, not so fast, isn't going to give it up. These two are going to race. Robert?
Oh, yeah, teammates, but don't matter with 4 to go here. These guys are going to battle it, and it looks like Brian should clear. Does he clear? I think he's going to. And yes, he does clear it coming out of 2.
Just cleared, but Zach Hall dives down on the inside. Still got the nose ahead of the trunk of Johnson. But Zach Hall gets a little squirrely there. Bump from Clark from the backside. Going to allow Johnson to clearly take that position. Levi Cox now on the outside of Clark. Looking at that 5th position. Yingling, Bisson, Johnson, Hall, Clark, and Cox.
Ooh, teammates.
And yes. Clark gets a little bit wiggly there again. Sweeting's going to pass it.
Oh, man. Looks like he said turn 1's not going to be nice, but also not being nice is getting bumped by your teammate by accident. Oh, and now he's into the wall. He's into the wall again. Oh, this is falling apart for Brandon, unfortunately. Strong car all night, and now he is struggling as we are on the final lap. We'll send it up here. Final lap, Lee.
Final lap, Larry Yingling in the lead, a 3.3 second lead over Bisson. Bisson now down the backstretch out of 2. Trying to see if he can make up anything on this turn. We go into 3. Bisson now coming up to the backside, but not going to have enough for the dominator here tonight. Larry Yingling winning his 2nd race of the season and continuing that points championship lead on the World Series of Sim Racing.
And he becomes back-to-back with Brian. On back-to-back wins here, 2-time win in season number 2. As the fireworks are going to be flying here tonight at Richmond. Congratulations to the top 3. Man, what a race, man.
An excellent race here at Richmond Classic short track action. But Larry Yingling was just dominant here tonight. And I know I've used that word a lot, but he truly was. Yingling comes away victorious, 2nd win of the season, and keeps that points championship lead. Bisson with his best finish of the season so far in 2nd. Brian Johnson finishes in 3rd, last week's winner. Zach Hall in 4th. Levi Cox in 5th. Chuck Sweeting is going to finish up in 6th. Mark Whitley in 7th. Clark in 8th. Blevins in 9th. And Jonathan Smith will come in 10th position. But your race winner, once again, the 67 machine of Larry Yingling, and your points leader after week number 4, Robert.
All righty. Well, we will be right back as we get ready for our post-race interview here with World Series of Sim Racing League with the top 3. So give us a couple minutes as we get everything set up and have our interviews with our top 3. But we will be right back. All right, we are back here at Richmond, Virginia Raceway here with World Series of Sim Racing League as we're getting ready to have our interviews with our top 3 here, Lee. All right, buddy, well, let's bring up Brian Johnson here that finished in 3rd. Good points run for him here tonight. Let's see how his race went. Brian, Robert up here in the booth. You got a copy, buddy?
I got a copy, Robert.
All right, man. Hey, man, good run here tonight. You're started, it looks like you're down 1 position. You started 2nd tonight here, qualified. How was the race for you out there tonight, man?
I mean, it was okay. The car, it was kind of loose on entry and exit, and then really tight in the middle, especially like later on into the run. So, the car wasn't exactly the way I liked it, and just a bunch of cautions. I really felt like I had long run speed, and I could hold my own on the short runs, but the problem was that if you were starting on the outside line on the restarts, you were just getting freight trained. So there was one restart where I burned all of my tire up trying to keep my position, and so the rest of the run was toast. So it was a good race. Third's good. This podium, but I definitely wish I could have at least challenged Larry there for the win at the end.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, go ahead, Lee.
go ahead, Robert.
I was just going to hand it over to you. Go ahead, bud.
Well, and Brian, you talked about those green flag runs, and man, you were strong in the green flag runs. But Larry Yingling, he had a dominating performance there tonight. I thought that you was going to be able to sniff up to the back end of him, but then we had some of those cautions there at the end. But it seemed like you got stronger as the race progressed. What was your plans if we didn't have those cautions at the end?
Well, I was thinking about pitting with about 75 laps to go, because right before that, there was that long green flag run, and we had pitted for tires, and that put us back in like 10th or 12th, somewhere in that range. And so during that run, made it way through the field, and then I got up to second, and I was catching Larry by roughly about a 10th of a lap. So I was hoping to maybe get some ground on him and then be able to short pit him. But yeah, unfortunately, that didn't work out. But yeah, with Richmond, I'm especially with the transition race, definitely better under the lights and once the track rubbers up some. So I wasn't too worried about my speed in the early race. The first 100 laps, it's all about the last 100 laps.
Exactly. You guys, outstanding race here tonight. Next week, where are we going to be? I've got it pulled up. We're going to be at Dover. I like Dover. What do we got to look forward to at Dover?
Well, the cool thing about Dover is that it's concrete, so instead of the rubber being kind of in the track like it does on asphalt, rubber just kind of lays on top of concrete. So in real life, it kind of creates some slick points, but I'm sure in iRacing here with this V7 tire, it's going to generate grip, which it shouldn't. But we'll have to deal with that. Then the other thing that's really awesome about Dover is that when you're sending it into turn 1 or turn 3, there's actually just the way the track is shaped, you're dropping about 2 stories from the front stretch to the turn. So there's going to be a lot of right front force, or the right front's going to be pretty loaded up in the corner. And the biggest challenge, especially since they iRacing updated Dover most recently, adding the safer barriers on the front stretch and back stretch. So used to you had a little bit more room to exit on the corner, which is exactly what you need, but we've lost a little bit of that room, so that's going to be a challenge. Exiting at Dover is always a challenge, but we'll see how it goes. Hopefully we can get some more green flag going.
Gotcha. And once again, congratulations on that podium finish tonight. Outstanding job. Anybody you want to say hi to, give a shout out, sir?
Just shout out to everybody that tuned in tonight. We definitely appreciate it. And then the 2 guys up here that do a great job broadcasting our races, and then to all the admins that helped me put this thing on. That made it sound like I'm in charge. I'm definitely not. So definitely a cooperation from all of us. But yeah, we'll keep moving forward and keep it going.
Gotcha. Thank you so much, sir. Congratulations once again. That's Brian Johnson, our 3rd place finisher here tonight at Richmond, as we get ready to bring up our 2nd place finisher tonight. Started out in the 23rd position, gained 21 spots, and moved all the way up and finished 2nd. And that's going to be Alex Bisson, best finish of his season so far. Alex, is Lee up in the booth? You got a copy, sir?
Well, Lee, how you been, brother?
Man, it's been another wonderful day and an outstanding race for you tonight. You had a strong car, but just couldn't seem to catch down Yingling. Now, we had a lot of cautions tonight. That track seemed to change over time.
It definitely tightened up once rubber got laid down, but yeah, that was a disaster. It's kind of, I didn't expect it to resemble New Hampshire as much as it did this week. So luckily I was not a part of any of the cautions. I kept a nice clean race car all race. But it was entertaining for you guys, hopefully.
Oh, we always have a blast with the World Series of Sim Racing and watching you guys race. And not quite as many cautions as New Hampshire, and some really good side-by-side racing. It appeared as though tonight you really could work 2 lines, maybe not for an extended period of time, but 2-line racing was possible.
It was. If you could make that corner work coming out and get a nice run out on top, it took a lot of pinching the guy down low and a lot of give and take. But it definitely worked for, a good, I would give it 3 to 5 laps. Other than that, you're going to have to fall back in line. You saw Cedric get freight trained early in the race, and that's usually how it goes. Once you get up there and those tires burn up, it's usually game over. You got to get down in line.
Outstanding. Yeah, and again, a great second place finish. Robert, you got anything for Mr. Alex?
Well, not really. You covered everything, man. You had an up and down night, beating and banging out there with that Driven Motorsports. Good finish for the team out there, man. We head off to Dover next week. How do you feel about that track?
I'm assuming it's the high downforce package. I'm not 100% sure, but I think it would be. I think with that size track. I'm excited. I like Dover. It resembles a little bit of Darlington for me. That little snappy exit up out of the corners, because those walls will really catch you. So Dover will be fun. Hopefully hopefully you get some green flag runs in, man. I really enjoy wearing these tires down and really abusing them. It's a blast out here with these cars, and it's a shame that we can't get better racing, but hopefully next week is better. I think Dover will be a challenge for a lot of people, but hopefully they can overcome that.
Wow, 10-4. Well, that's one of my home tracks, good old Delaware Dover. I can't wait to head there, leaving Richmond. It's not a far trip for us here, so we will catch you up there next week, buddy. But congratulations on your second place finish, man, and hopefully are ready for next week.
Yes, thank you guys. Thanks for everything you guys do too. It's a real honor to be broadcasted on, YouTube, Facebook, everywhere. I love sharing it. People love watching it. I'm glad this happens. You guys do a great job. So thank you so much. And we'll hopefully catch you guys next week at some point, huh?
That's right. Oh, I forgot. Do you want to give anybody a shout out, liking, hello, or anything like that before I let you go?
Just, typical Driven. Those Driven guys put up with me, and I don't know how, so that's a cool thing. And Elevate Design, Connor McDougal makes some great designs up here in New England. So if you need a sign, if you need a race car wrap, truck, anything, you call that guy right there.
Right. Awesome. Well, Alex, great job tonight. Second place finish, best one of the season. Look forward to many more from you, sir.
Thank you, Lee, Robert. Have a great night, guys.
Thank you. That's Alex Bisson, our second place finisher tonight, as we get set to bring up our race winner, the second two-time winner, and the only other person besides Brian Johnson to win a race this season for the World Series of Sim Racing. That is Larry Yingling. Larry, it's Lee up in the booth. You got a copy, sir?
Yes, sir.
All right, so I said it a bunch during the broadcast. I'm pretty sure you're going to watch it later on tonight or maybe even tomorrow, but I described your performance many times tonight as dominant. Man, you were untouchable. Those yellows didn't really mess with you because you stayed in front all night, starting on the pole and finishing in first position. How was you so good there tonight?
I guess experience of this track. I used to run this track a lot back around 2013. It was a while ago, but I just really like this track, and the slow downforce and higher horsepower is pretty fun.
So now you every restart we saw you come up with a great restart. Taken away from the field and just pulling away from, I think the largest lead I saw was 3.5 seconds before another yellow. How frustrating was it for the yellows for you, even though it really didn't get in your way? It did bring everyone right to the back bumper of you multiple times tonight.
It wasn't really frustrating at all. I knew if I can just come out of pits first, a couple laps after the restart, I should be able to start pulling away. I mean, not been the fastest on a short run, but I felt like I was the most consistent around the people around me. So with just that, I just start pulling away a little bit, and hopefully my tires help me afterwards.
Yeah, you had an awesome run. You were fastest lap of the night, 21.852, it looks like, and that was going to be on lap number 2. So fastest lap right there in the second lap. We head to Dover next week. Now, you and Brian Johnson, this seems to be the battle of the season. Yingling versus Johnson as we head to Dover. What can we expect there?
If there's a long run, I can probably expect my right front to explode. I'm pretty good at wearing that right front out at Dover.
Got you. Well, Larry, Robert, you got anything for Larry?
No, I just like to say congratulations, man, on getting your victory here at Richmond. You tie Brian Johnson now here with 2 wins here in Season 2. Like he said, it's the Larry and Brian show right now. You do got some tough competitors. You already said about what's going on there at Dover with them tires and everything. I guess the main thing I want to ask you is how did the tires handle for you out there tonight? Did you have any issues with any of them burning off a little bit?
No, it felt pretty good. I think the pace went down like 2 seconds or so on that 60-lap run we did, but it didn't really get any tighter or looser. I know every single restart new tires. Entering turn 1, it felt like how you go down on a roller coaster and it feels like your heart goes to your chest or whatever. Just you want to dive in there and the front tires aren't gripping, the rear is sliding all over the place, but you're trying to keep it to the bottom. It was pretty fun.
How many laps did it take you until you got them tires heated up? Around 7?
No. They heated up pretty early.
Oh, okay.
Probably like lap 2 or 3.
Oh, wow,
at least
really?
in clean air.
Okay. Because we normally say with these version 7 tires, it's about 7 laps until you get the heat put in them. But you're saying lap 2. I don't know if iRacing put an update out there that we didn't see or don't know, because I don't recall it ever, heating up that fast.
Well, I think part of that is the fact that Larry has this track down.
Well,
he talked about racing this track a lot. So when he, after lap 2, they warmed up enough and he knew these grooves enough that he was able to squat and go where the rest of them were still having to feather that throttle. So Larry, outstanding run tonight, dominating fashion. Anybody you would say hello to, give a shout out to, sir?
I just want to shout out my teammates this race, Maxwell Caldwell, Brandon Clark, Levi Cox, and Cody Cox, and shout out you guys for broadcast as always.
We appreciate it, sir. Yeah, Brandon had a solid run until that accident there at the end. So thank you so much, sir, and we'll see you next week at Dover.
Thank you, guys.
And that's Larry Yingling, our race winner, his 2nd win of the season, matching Brian Johnson. Now, as we head into a noon race at Dover next week here on the World Series of Sim Racing. And Robert, I like Dover. I like the high banks of Dover.
Yeah, Dover's my track. I could always finish around in the top 5. Could never get a win there. That's another track I could never get a win at. But I do like Dover. I think the main thing that they're going to be struggling with next week is coming out of the turn, especially like turn 2, and coming definitely out of turn 4. You go down into the turn and you come back out, and it basically lifts the back end of the car up off the track with the speed that these guys are going to be running there, and it's going to make it loose. And I would imagine this setup is probably loose as it is already. So we're going to see who can manhandle a loose car, man.
Yep, it's going to be an outstanding race at Dover next week. 8:50 Eastern Time start here on Freaky Fast Broadcasting for the World Series of Sim Racing. But Robert, I had a blast here tonight, sir.
I did too with these guys, but here's the unofficial results here tonight at Richmond. Round number 4 here at Richmond, Virginia, as we see Larry bringing home the win here right over Alex. Going to be finished second with Brian Johnson in 3rd. Zach Hall's going to bring it home 4th with Levi Cox. Is going to bring it home 5th with Chuck. Sweating. God, man, I mess up his name all the time. Apologize to him. He's a cool cat. Bringing home sick Mark is going to bounce back. Mark Whitley there in 7th. Brandon Clark, strong night, like you were saying, Lee. Man, it's going to finish up in 8th position. 3 seconds. About 3.5 seconds behind. Corey Blevins is going to be in 9th, going to bring it home for kicking ass motorsports there. And then we got Jonathan Smith, had a good qualifying run here tonight. He's going to bring it home 10th. And that's going to be your top 10 here tonight at World Series of Sim Racing League. And you can see the rest of the field, where your favorite driver has finished as we run through the rest of the field here. And we got Danny Lawson down here going to finish in 28th. And I believe that's it. Nope, we got Vernon down here in 29th. And then we got Bradley finishing out 30. So that's going to be your unofficial results here tonight. Well, Lee, we're going to pack up our stuff and get ready for Sim Racing Unleashed tomorrow night. We will be live on Facebook and YouTube at 7:50 with them guys as they take on Bristol in the Gen 6 cars. So tune in for some more short track racing here at Freaky Fast. But until then, me and Lee like to say thank you everybody who tuned in. If you enjoyed the broadcast, don't forget to hit that follow, like, and share button on Facebook and on YouTube. Don't forget to hit that share, bell button, and subscribe button. But until then, tomorrow night, Lee, we are out of here at Richmond. God bless everybody. Love yous all. Peace out.